You know that feeling, right? When cold water hits your teeth and you just wince? Or maybe you see a little pink in the sink when you brush your teeth. Most of us just chalk that up to getting older. It's normal, we think. But what if it's not? What if the advice we've been following for decades is missing a huge piece of the puzzle? All right, let's get into it.
I mean, think about it. For 70 years, we've been told fluoride is the solution. We brush with it, we rinse with it, it's even in our water. And yet, so many of us are still dealing with sensitive teeth, gum problems, and dentists who are starting to use the word implants. It makes you wonder, right? If the answer is literally everywhere, why is the problem still so common?
Now, the source material we're digging into today makes this incredibly bold claim. It's basically saying that the whole story we've accepted about our teeth, that they just naturally fall apart as we age, is just plain wrong. It argues that the real enemy isn't time. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of what our teeth are actually made of.
So let's start right there with what we can call the fluoride paradox. We've got more toothpastes, more mouthwashes, more fancy dental procedures than at any point in history. But for a lot of adults, the results just aren't adding up. And the numbers tell a pretty shocking story.
Let's put a number on that paradox. Here in the United States, a staggering 80% of adults over 50 have some form of gum disease. 80%. Let that sink in. In one of the most fluoridated countries on the planet, the overwhelming majority of people are still struggling. It really makes you stop and ask, is the standard approach really working for everybody?
To really get the alternative that's being proposed here, we kind of have to change how we picture our teeth. It's not about just protecting the outside surface, no, it's about rebuilding the whole structure. And the source uses this brilliant analogy. Think of your tooth like a stone wall. And this is the secret ingredient. Your enamel, that hard, shiny protective layer on your teeth, it's not some mystery material. It's made of something very specific, a mineral called hydroxyapatite. It's not an additive or some kind of coating. It is the tooth. It's the actual stone in that wall.
And this is where that analogy just clicks into place. Fluoride, in this model, acts like a thin layer of waterproof paint. It can coat the surface, which is helpful for sure, but it can't fix the tiny microscopic cracks that are already in the stone wall. Hydroxyapatite, on the other hand, is the same material as the wall. So it acts like fresh cement, filling in those cracks from within, actually rebuilding the structure itself.
Now you might be thinking this sounds like some brand new wellness trend, but nope, this stuff has been around for a while. It was actually developed by NASA back in the 70s for astronauts who were losing bone and tooth minerals in space. A Japanese company licensed the tech way back in 1970, and by 1993, Japan's government had officially approved it to fight cavities. It's been used safely and effectively over there for more than 30 years.
So how do you actually put this to work? Well, the protocol from our source lays out 3 doors to rebuilding your enamel. And door number 1 is the most direct. It's all about applying this stuff right to the surface of your teeth. Let's walk through the steps. Okay, the protocol here is super specific. First, you need the right tool. The toothpaste has to have at least 10% nano-hydroxyapatite. Those tiny particles are the key to getting into all the little pores in your enamel. Second, use a soft brush. Seriously, medium or hard bristles can actually wear away the very enamel you're trying to save. And third, and this is the one that's going to feel weird, but it's absolutely crucial, after you brush for 2 full minutes, you just spit. Do not rinse with water. That little bit of toothpaste that's left over keeps working, remineralizing your enamel for up to a half hour. Rinsing just washes all that hard work right down the drain.
But just working on the outside is only part of the story. You can't just slap cement on a wall if you don't have the raw materials to make the cement in the first place, right? So, doors 2 and 3 are all about giving your body the building blocks and the instructions to rebuild your teeth from the inside out. Door number 2 is all about nutrition, and the source points to foods our great-grandparents would have recognized instantly. Real bone broth, the kind you simmer for a day, is packed with the stuff your body needs to make hydroxyapatite. Sardines, with their tiny edible bones, are a calcium powerhouse. Hard-aged cheeses, pasture-raised egg yolks. This is about giving your body the actual raw materials it's been missing.
Now, eating all these amazing mineral-rich foods is great, but it's only half the battle. Your body needs a system, a delivery system, to get those minerals from your stomach into the structure of your teeth and bones. If that system is broken, all those good minerals can end up in places you don't want them, like your arteries.
This brings us to door number 3, the traffic cops that tell all these minerals where to go.
First, you've got vitamin D3, which helps you absorb calcium from your food. Then there's vitamin K2, specifically the MK7 form, which is like the GPS. It activates proteins that carry that calcium straight to your teeth and bones. And finally, magnesium. It's the supervisor. It activates the vitamin D3 and helps lock the calcium into your enamel. Without all three working together, the whole system just doesn't work.
And look, if you need proof of how vital magnesium is, check this out. A 2024 study looked at over 8,000 American adults and found a massive link. For people with the severe magnesium deficiency, the rate of gum disease was nearly half, 49%. For those who had enough magnesium, it was 32%. That's a huge difference, all connected to a single mineral. So when you walk through all three of these doors, when you combine the outside fix, the right foods, and the vitamins that direct the traffic, you start to get a completely different result. This whole protocol offers a new story for our teeth. A story that isn't about slow, inevitable decay, but about active, ongoing regeneration.
The source shares this amazing story of a 68-year-old woman named Dorothy. Her gums were bleeding, her teeth were getting thin, and she was being told she needed implants. So after just 4 months on this protocol, she went back to her dentist, and he was just stunned. He looked at her chart, looked at her mouth, and said, "I don't know what you did, but your pockets are tighter. Don't stop." That's the difference between just painting the wall and actually rebuilding it. So what this all boils down to is a complete reframing of the problem. It argues that what we call age-related dental problems are actually symptoms of a chronic nutritional deficiency. The core idea is that our teeth aren't dying of old age. They're basically starving for the right building blocks and the right instructions to use them. And that leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. For generations, we've pretty much accepted that losing our teeth is just part of life. But if our teeth are living tissues that can be repaired and remineralized from the inside out, does that mean their fate isn't inevitable after all? Does it mean it's actually a choice based on the information we have and the actions we're willing to take?